Hi everyone, I wanted to make a quick screencast to show you sort of how to get started in the Web Soil Survey. And this is the USDA NRCS website, Web Soil Survey. And basically you can read all kinds of cool information here on their website, but to get started we just click on this green button, Start Web Soil Survey. As it loads you'll see just sort of the generic map of the lower 48 states, and we have some satellite underneath it. And then you'll notice there's all kinds of different options here as far as how you want to get started with selecting the AOI, which is the area of interest. You could do something like type in an address. You could also go and look by state and county. You could go with the soil survey area if you knew specifically where that was going to be. Likewise, if you had latitude, longitude, you could do that. Section, township, range. Those of you familiar with the old paper maps are more familiar probably with this type of designation. Anyway, there's a lot of different options here that you could use, including even the watershed hydrologic unit code, which is USGS rating. So why don't we get started using the address for our university. So I'm just going to paste here in the box the address for the American Public University System campus down in Charlestown, West Virginia, which is kind of neat to see it from the aerial. And here we are in this area. I'm going to change up here to the little hand, and that means I can kind of drag this paper around. Now, curiously, these are kind of old imagery because it looks like our solar panels are not quite in place yet for our university campus here, but sort of in the middle of our screen is where academics building is, and all of our other buildings that are part of our greater campus area. In order to get the area of interest, I'm going to use this Define AOI by Rectangle key. You could also do the one next to it on the right, which is by Polygon, and that's if you want some kind of different shape, like you want just the property boundaries, for example, for a particular area. But I'm just going to do this whole neighborhood block here in Charlestown. So once I click on my area of interest, you can see that green hash or blue hash is the shaded area essentially that I'm looking for. And now the important next step to get the soil map data is to go up here to the upper left hand side and click on soil map. And that's actually going to bring up the survey details. And so now you see this sort of bluey green rectangle. That is my area of interest, or AOI. And all of those orange contours, those are the actual soil areas that you're looking at, designated, sort of overlaid on this satellite imagery that you can see. So for example, right here we have UWC, and if you go over to the legend all the way on the left hand side, UWC is upland land, Hagerstown complex, 0 to 5% slopes. It makes up 71.5 acres within the area of interest, and you can see that of total there's 183 in that rectangle that I selected, that area of interest. And it's about, was it 39% of the total land area. So if I wanted to get a description of that soil, I would just click on that hyperlink there, and you can see what pops up is this map unit description. Now if you have a pop-up blocker on, you may have to hold down the control key if you're on a PC as you click that, or you may have to actually change your settings to allow pop-ups from this particular website. But I've already done that because I use this all the time. And here we are, we have Jefferson County, West Virginia. UWC was the name of the map unit. And as we scroll down, we can see different information. For example, right in the middle there's frost-free days, so somewhere between, 150 days per year. It's not prime farmland. 40% of it is urban. And as you scroll down this particular information, you can also see typical soil profiles. So this is from the soil surface. Horizon 1 goes down 0 to 7 inches, and it's a silt loam soil texture. Below that, H2 is 7 to 23 inches, so down to 2 feet or so. And we also have a silt loam. And then below that is a clay, so 23 to 75 inches, and that is the depth of where they have soil profile data. You can see all kinds of very interesting information, properties and qualities. Some of this is very important depending on how you're going to use the land, especially if you're looking at building, restoration, soil properties for farming, water drainage, things of that nature. And then they also have some information on minor components for this as well. So there's lots of information here in the Web Soil Survey. The main trick is just going up and clicking on that soil map once you've selected that area of interest, because otherwise you'll never find out this information, and it's a little tricky. Another interesting component here, if you look right here, this is the UB, or the urban land. What you'll notice when you click on that is that there's sort of another description for this, but there's not really a map description unit in the same way, right? It doesn't have that same name that you found for the other soil, and there's just a lot less information. Essentially what they're saying here is these areas are highly disturbed by urban environments, and for the most part probably have a lot of impervious surface on them as well. So that's it. That's a quick overview of how you find the area of interest, and then how you get the soils data from the Web Soil Survey. Enjoy!